Look, everybody talks about ChatGPT, Claude, and Canva. And sure, they're great, but honestly, those are just the tip of the iceberg. Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're unlocking an arsenal of 9 highly underrated AI tools that go way, way beyond your standard chatbots. Think of these as a cheat code, tools designed to save you literally hours of work every single week. Let's dive in.
Be honest with yourself for a second here. How many hours a week do you lose to completely mundane tasks? The manual note-taking, skimming through massive dry reports, or just pulling your hair out trying to get slide formatting right. Keep that number in the back of your mind because the tools we're exploring today are going to cut that number down drastically. Oh, and stick around because the final visual tool I'm going to show you at the very end of this explainer, it is going to completely rewrite how you share your ideas forever.
All right, so here is our game plan for today. We're going to break this down into 4 key areas. 1, supercharging your research. 2, automating your meetings. 3, scaling your content creation. And 4, perfecting visuals and presentations.
Let's jump right into section 1, supercharging your research.
First up on the roster is Google's NotebookLM. Imagine having a super smart personal tutor who has perfectly memorized every textbook, article, or 50-page PDF you have ever uploaded. Unlike standard AI that scours the whole open web and, let's face it, sometimes risks hallucinating facts, NotebookLM operates in a closed ecosystem. It only gives you answers based entirely on your specific files. So say you need to digest a dense industry report by tomorrow morning. It instantly summarizes the facts. It can even generate a remarkably realistic 2-person audio podcast discussing the contents of your document. It is an absolute game changer for processing heavy information quickly.
Now consider the traditional way we search for things online. You get a massive list of blue links, endless scrolling, and a barrage of ads. Perplexity AI just completely replaces that whole mess. It actually reads the internet in real time and writes a complete direct answer to your exact question. And the absolute best part? It cites its sources with actual clickable footnote links. So if you ask it about the new freelance tax rules, you get the exact answer immediately, fully cited without ever having to open 10 different tabs.
Instead of keeping a separate AI tab open all day and constantly copying and pasting, our third tool, Merlin AI, brings that intelligence straight to wherever you're currently working. It operates as this really sleek browser extension that you just activate with a quick keyboard shortcut, and it totally thrives on context. Let's say you're reading a dense 5,000-word article. Hit the shortcut, and Merlin instantly summarizes the whole page into 3 crisp bullets. Staring at a super confusing email thread, it reads that exact thread and drafts a polite, professional reply in seconds. The whole shebang, all without ever forcing you to switch tabs.
Okay, moving right along to section 2, automating your meetings.
We all know online meetings can be a massive time drain, right? And it's mostly because we're distracted by manual note-taking. Enter Tactiq. This browser extension works completely seamlessly in the background to automatically transcribe your Google Meet, Zoom, or Teams calls as they happen. But it doesn't just stop at transcription. The literal second you hang up, Tactiq's AI generates a flawless summary, highlights all the key decisions made, and lists your exact action items, which means you can finally just sit back, actually make eye contact, and engage in the conversation. Right after you hop off a client call, Tactiq emails you exactly what you need to knock out next. Let's shift gears a bit for section 3, scaling your content creation.
10. That is the magic number of ready-to-post, highly engaging short videos you can get from just a single piece of long-form content using our next tool, Opus Clip. You literally just take a link from a 30-minute interview or a YouTube tutorial, drop it into Opus Clip, go grab a cup of coffee, and by the time you sit back down at your desk, it has automatically chopped that long video into 10 viral shorts, reels, or TikToks. It uses AI to pinpoint the most engaging moments, slaps on trendy captions, and perfectly frames the speaker. It's quite literally an entire video editing team packed right into one piece of software. Now, if you're looking to scale up that content, but you don't necessarily want to use your own voice on camera, you absolutely need to check out ElevenLabs. Hands down, this is currently the best AI voice generator on the internet. It does not sound like those old, robotic, super clunky computer voices we're all so used to hearing. ElevenLabs creates ultra-realistic, human-sounding audio, complete with natural breathing and real emotion. It's being used right now for audiobooks, video games, and thousands of wildly successful faceless channels. You just paste your script in, pick a voice actor, and boom, you instantly have a professional-grade voiceover. In fact, it is so realistic, you probably wouldn't even know if this very explainer was using it.
And that brings us to our final section, perfecting visuals and presentations. If you've ever lost hours of your life fighting with slide layouts, tweaking fonts, and trying to align tiny text boxes, say hello to Gamma.
Gamma is an AI workspace that builds entire presentations, websites, or documents from just a single text prompt. You literally just type a command, something like a 10-slide pitch deck for a new tech startup. In under a minute, Gamma generates all the text, sources high-quality images, and formats everything perfectly. It completely eliminates all that tedious, soul-crushing design work so you can focus entirely on what actually matters, your message.
Next up, we've all been there, right? You take a fantastic photo, only to realize later there's a random photo bomber waving in the back, or a messy trash can ruining the shot. Cleanup Pictures is a surprisingly simple tool that basically does one thing, but it does it flawlessly. It removes unwanted objects. There's no need to spend weeks watching tutorials trying to learn complex Photoshop menus. You just upload your image, brush over the person or the object you want gone, and the AI magically erases it while seamlessly filling in the background. It takes maybe 3 seconds, and the results are absolutely stunning. And finally, we've reached the tool I promised would completely rewrite how you share ideas. Meet Napkin AI. Look, we all know that staring at a dense, boring wall of text is completely exhausting for the brain. Napkin AI instantly converts your written paragraphs into professional diagrams, mind maps, and striking graphics. Imagine you need to explain a really complex 3-step sales strategy. You just paste that text right into Napkin, and with a single click, it generates a sleek, intuitive flowchart perfectly aligned with your words. It basically makes you look like a brilliant graphic designer who spent hours crafting visuals, all in a fraction of a second.
So, we've covered 9 incredibly powerful ways to supercharge your workflow today. By adopting these underrated tools, you cut right through the friction of repetitive tasks, you accelerate your research, and you automate the mundane stuff nobody wants to do. So, my final question for you is this. What are you going to do with the hours you reclaim this week? Are you going to learn a new skill, take on bigger projects, or maybe just enjoy some well-deserved free time? Stay ahead of the curve, keep experimenting with the stuff, and thank you so much for joining me on this explainer.